Hello everyone, welcome to our video on the Scouring demo. Today's video is going to be a guide on all the game mechanics, and the first mechanic that is very important is that when you build a building, you can usually start a building with one peasant, and if you want to build a building a little bit faster, you can add additional peasants, and it doesn't take away any resources to build with more peasants. It only takes away the value of these peasants trying to get some gold or some wood. So being able to build certain buildings right away may give you an advantage by allowing you to make units faster if you make your barracks faster, or if you try to make a barracks and a sawmill. And if you time it properly, then you can start making archers at the same exact time that you have your sawmill or barracks finished, and that's going to allow you to make your proper strategies work out better. And also, if you're expanding to like a gold base here, you can send more peasants to start building your expansion faster, which means you're going to have 2 town halls ready by then, and then that's going to allow you to make double the peasants, and it's going to allow you to have more peasants, mining more resources, and then having more units to use against other players. Alright, now I'm going to explain the food mechanic or the supply mechanic in the game. Here on the top right, you can see the plus 600. This means how much food my workers are farming, or how much food they're making. And the negative 654 means how much food is being eaten by all the units that I made. Basically how farms work. You can put one peasant on a farm, and the first peasant always produces 60 food. You can see right here, it gives 60 food. Then every additional peasant only gives 30 more food. You see 30, and then 30 more food. And then when you have a surplus of food, then all your units start regenerating health over time. This allows them to be at full health, and basically allows you to have a effective army and workforce. And basically when you have a negative food count, or when they're starving of course, then our units start to starve. And basically how it works is the cannons, as you can see, they're the first units to starve. And that's very annoying because they can't regenerate health over time, or it can be healed. So it's very important to have your food to be in a surplus so your cannons don't lose health. And then Cavaliers are the next units to lose health or start starving. And then all your peasants start starving, as you can see right here. And then the last units that are going to starve is all your swordsmen and archers. Anyways, I'm going to put all these peasants back to work. And as you can see, peasants started eating food, Cavalier started eating food, and then when this goes to positive, then all your cannons start not losing health. But they do consume food, but they don't heal over time. Alright, now I'm gonna explain how the starvation works. Basically when a unit is starving, as you can see here, the unit that is starving has 50% less movement rate than a normal unit. Basically you move 50% slower, and you have no food, then this is how it breaks down. These units right here, the archer level 1, level 2, level 3, and then swordsman level 1 and level 2, and the peasant, all these units lose 1 health every 3 seconds. You can see he's losing 1 health. So you all these units lose 1 health per set, or every 3 seconds. Alright, and all of these units right here, the cannon, the swordsman level 3, the Cavalier level 1, and the Cavalier level 2, all of these units lose 2 health every 3 seconds. Alright, and the final unit, the Cavalier level 3, he loses 3 health every 3 seconds. There you go. Alright, and basically when you're starving, you can still produce a lot of units. That's how the supply system works, but if you don't make enough food, then all of your units are going to be going down all the way to 1 health. And basically they can be one-shot by pretty much any unit. And also when you're moving around with your army, you're in the field fighting people, and you try to catch your enemy, you're going to be unable to catch your enemy because you're going to be slower than them, and they're going to be able to outrun you. And basically when you want to be retreating, then you're not going to be able to run away because all your units are going to be super slow. So it's very important to have your food in order so that all your units are not starving and going to 1 health and being massacred by zombies or your enemies. Alright, now I'm going to show how much health all of these units regenerate when they are not in combat, and also when you have a food surplus. Alright, the cannon, after it gets injured, it doesn't regenerate health over time, even if you have a lot of food. And it also can't be healed by the cure ability that the Cavaliers have. Alright, and then these units right here, they regenerate 1 health per second. It's the level 1, 2, 3 archer, level 1 and level 2 swordsman, and peasant. You see it's 1 health per second. Alright, and all these units right here, the Cavalier level 1 and level 2, and a level 3 swordsman. All of these units regenerate 2 health per second. You can see here it's 2 health per second. Alright, and the final unit is the Cavalier level 3, and he regenerates 3 health per second. You can see it's 3 health. Alright, and this means that these units are somewhat weak, they regenerate very slowly, and these units are kind of good to use to fight, and then take them out of combat so they can heal up, so you can use them in later battles. Alright, now I'm going to show how much food or supply that each unit takes up. And to start, the swordsmen and the archers, both of these units take up 8 food. And the way to find this out, I can kill a unit, and then look how much less food they eat. So here we can see it went down by 8, which means the swordsman was eating 8 food. If I kill an archer, you can see it went down by 8 as well. Alright, and the peasants, they eat 10 food. It went down by 10 food here. Right, and then the Cavaliers, they eat 12 food. Here you can see one down by 12. And the final unit, the cannon, it eats 16 food. Here you can see it went down by 16. Alright, now I'm going to explain the day-night mechanic. Basically, during the first day, it lasts about 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And then every following night, it lasts about 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And then every following day, after that, lasts about 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Which means the daytime is mostly longer. And the first day is about half as long as every normal daytime day. Alright, and during the night, you don't lose more vision, you still have the same vision, but as you can see here, all these buildings, they are not giving much vision. You only give a little bit of vision around their little border, and this explains a lot as to why zombies or the undead skeletons, they start spawning in the dark areas, and here you go, they start munching away my base. And if you want to make sure that no zombies are spawning around here, you can use your units to give you vision. As you can see here, I have a lot of vision because I have a lot of units here. And if you want to defend properly, against all these zombies that are going to be spawning and trying to kill all of your units. Then you should put all your units on top of a high ground, because that makes them have more vision around, and it actually gives you a lot of vision, because units are the ones that give you the vision. And if you want to defend an area, then it's very important to have actual units defending, because you can see here, you would think that no zombies would spawn here, but you can see some dark parts here, and basically there's no vision here, and all your units are going to be dying. So to make sure to have vision here, you can put your units on top of buildings, give a lot of vision. You can see zombies are not spawning close. But if you don't have much money to make buildings, you can try to do it the economic way, where you just leave a single unit, which gives you a lot of vision, and to make sure no units spawn here. And then when the night ends, you can take this unit and use it to fight or farm some XP. Alright, and also the farms here. I'm gonna show that farms give no vision, even though you make this farm. So that's very important to know, that you need actual peasants working on here to give you some kind of vision. And also you can use your farms in specific places here. So instead of zombies spawning here and trying to eat my wood line, you can place a farm here tactically, and just make sure that all your economy doesn't get munched away by all these skeletons. And also right here, you can see that the archer can't really see much past the trees. He just has a small border of vision around him. But if you put him on top of the tower, you can see gain a little bit extra more vision. And this helps out when your peasants are chopping down some trees, and they reveal some darkness, and to make sure that no undead skeletons spawn behind your base, and then they don't rush you like this and then start killing all of your peasants. It's gonna ruin your economy, and then your food. It's gonna be very difficult to defend and basically use your attention properly, because you need your attention to go around the map, kill units, secure some choke points, and if your attention is on your base trying to defend it and move units around, then you're going to be overwhelmed. So it's very useful to leave some units on top of buildings to make sure that you don't have to really look back at your base again, so you can just not waste your attention trying to defend your base. So you can use your attention to actually fight another player's base during the night, or to just not worry about your peasants being murdered. Alright, now I'm going to explain the XP mechanic, and pretty much these three units right here, the swordsman, the archer, and the cavalier. All these three units, they can level up by doing their attacks, or gaining XP by actually confirming a kill and being the last person to kill an enemy or a neutral, like a zombie or a skeleton, or a wolf, or a bandit, or some goblin archers right here that died to my archers. But it's not just attacks, because hitting a building doesn't give any XP. It has to actually be an actual enemy, so that's important to know and understand. And killing enemies gives you gold and also XP, so it's very important to go around the map and kill enemy units or these neutral enemies that are spread out around the whole map. Anyways, but the only two units, the peasant and the cannon, these two units are the only two units that can't level up, which means that they always have the same stats. Alright, and the swordsman and the cavalier, these two units, we need to do 30 attacks for them to level up to level 2. And then level 2 units, we need to do 60 attacks for them to level up to level 3 units right here. Alright, and the archers, we need to do 40 attacks for them to level up to level 2. And then a level 2 archer has to do 80 attacks for him to level up to level 3. Alright, and the easy way to level up archers is to go around to outposts. And if there's too many archers and there are bandits here, then the bandits will run away. And this way you can attack them. And as you can see here, archers are actually missing a lot of shots, but it doesn't matter because how archers gain XP is per every shot that they take against an enemy unit. So if you try to shoot your own units, then they're not going to get XP, but if they actually shoot enemy units, then each of these attacks counts as XP. And after a level 1 unit does 40 attacks, then they level up to level 2 like this. And then level 2 unit has to do 80 attacks to level up to level 3. There you go, there's a level 3 unit. Alright, and then the melee units, they need to do 30 attacks to level up to level 2. And then 60 attacks to level up to level 3. The easy way to do it is to attack a wolf camp or any other enemy, and as you can see, these melee units, you have to actually hit an enemy. You have to do their full animation, so if they miss or do like a half attack, or you take them away while they're in the middle of their animation, then they actually don't get XP for these little attacks. Alright, now I'm going to show some interactions between level 1, level 2, and level 3 units. Basically how this works is level 1 units, they have 0 armor, and that means that they take normal damage. They're very easy to beat up. When they level up to level 2, they get increased health, increased damage, and increased armor. And when the level 2 units level up to level 3, they gain even more health, even more damage, and more armor. Basically, if you want to understand the differences between these units a bit better, and how much damage you do, and all the stats and whatever, then you can go down in the description and click the link for the unit stats guide. That video explains the stats very well. Alright, and an easy way to understand this is that level 1 units, when they go up to level 2, one level 2 unit, he is just as good as 2 level 1 units. And then when a level 2 unit levels up to level 3, a level 3 unit is just as good as 2 level 2 units. And the easy way to understand this is I'm going to do a 1v1 with these archers. So there you go.
Our town is under siege.
As we can see, this unit lost barely half of his health. He killed one level 1 unit. So there you go. It's the easy way to understand. I'm going to show the swordsman.
Our town is under siege.
There you go. As you can see, he lost roughly less than half of his health. And then the same way for level 1 and level 2 units. So as you can see here, he lost about less than half health as well. So that's pretty much how these interactions work. And then when a level 2 and level 3 unit fight, there's a very similar outcome. As you can see, he has more than half of his health. Level 2 and level 3. There you go. Very similar outcome. Alright, and I'm going to show the interaction between level 3 and level 2 archer. There you go, you can see it's very similar interaction. Basically, the more levels you have, the more power you have in your fights, and you're going to be more likely to win. So making sure to make your unit survive long enough to level up to level 2 and level 3. It's going to allow you to win your fights and win many games. Alright, now I'm going to show the interaction between a level 1 and level 3 unit. You're going to see how level 3 units are extremely overpowered and look super good. As you can see, level 1 unit's pretty much just tickling a level 3 unit. You barely did any damage to him. The same thing's going to happen between the swordsman. There you go. Won very decisively. And then between level 1 and level 3 archer interaction. You can see how major the advantages when your units are level 3. Alright, now I'm going to explain the potion mechanic, and pretty much these 3 units right here, the swordsman, the archer, and the cavalier. These are the only units that can buy potions, so it means that peasants and cannons, they are the 2 units that can't buy potions. And how potions work is you can buy them at a town hall if you're in the vicinity of it. Can press C when you're close enough, so you have to be this far away. You can press C. You can see it costs 75 gold, and pretty much how it works is when a unit is under attack and he has potions in its inventory, it's gonna want to use its potion to heal itself, but you can see there's a cooldown, and a unit can sometimes die faster than it can drink its second potion. So it's better to have your higher level units have potions, because the higher the level, the more health they heal. Alright, level 1, level 2, and level 3 units, they can drink a potion and they can heal some health. But level 1 units, level 2, and level 3 units, they have a different amount that they heal. An easy way to find this out is to attack a unit and then see how much they heal after they drink a potion. Alright, you can see he has 10 health. Now buy a potion. You can see he healed him 75 health, which means that all level 1 units, they heal for 75 health. Alright, and he has 10 health. You can see he healed for 90 health. It means that all level 2 units, they heal 90 health. And the last units, level 3 units, right, you can see he has 10 health. And now you can see he healed 105 health. And this way, knowing how much each unit heals, you can see that it's more valuable to buy potions for level 2 and level 3 units because they heal way more health. Alright, now I'm going to explain the high ground buildings mechanic. Pretty much when you have your own buildings to have high ground, you can see it by buildings having this little platform on top. It's like a high ground building, and if it has no high ground, you can see right here, these 3 buildings are ground level buildings. You can't climb these. Basically how it works, you can take 3 of these units, the swordsman, the archer, and the cannon, and they can go on top of the barracks that you own from pretty much any direction. You can see. But they always come out from the door of the building. You can see. It's always from this door when they come out. Right, and the cannon can go up here, and the swordsman. And basically when cannons are on top here, they have their own AI, and it basically targets enemies and shoots them, just like an archer does. But when a cannon's on the ground, it doesn't shoot normally. You have to actually put it into siege mode, then show it where to shoot. And also basically when the cannons are on the ground, they're less likely to shoot if there are friendlies in front, like a swordsman. There's units in front of it, it's not going to shoot it, but the cannon on top of a barracks doesn't really care that much, and it's more likely to shoot in the back of your own units. So that's very important to know, that cannons are kind of dangerous if they are shooting into the back of your own units. Alright, now I'm going to explain how enemy buildings work. Pretty much any high ground building that your enemy has. If I tell a cannon or an archer to go up here, you can see they can go up here no matter what. And the only unit that can actually scale up your enemy buildings is by clicking an enemy building, and then he automatically places a ladder and then climbs on top. And pretty much how this works is, this is the smallest building. It only has one ladder here, but the bigger the building is, then the more ladders that it's going to have. Alright, now I'm going to explain the capturing buildings mechanic, and pretty much how this works is, you can see on the minimap here, these little flags. These are the buildings that you can capture on the map. You can't capture a player's buildings, you can only destroy them. Alright, and this is the first building that you can capture. This is called an outpost, and it usually has 5 bandits on top of it. The way to capture it is you have to kill these bandits. As you can see, they block shots from archers, but when they're actually fighting, they drop their shield, so archers can pick them off easier. You can see here, they're being shot, and they drop their shield while fighting. Alright, and basically when you're going to be capturing it, there's going to be this little bar here, and this usually takes about 26 seconds. And when this bar fills up, you are able to capture this building. But now it's not captured yet, so only swordsmen can climb on top of it. You can see this archer can't climb on top of it. And then when it's captured, now anytime you click this building, it acts like your own building, so units can go on top and off from the building. And your swordsmen don't need to climb anymore, they just instantly go on top. Alright, and it's important to capture the outpost because you can put archers on top of here or cannons, and you can hold a very good choke point here, but you can't destroy this building, it's indestructible, and the only way to take this away from your enemy is you have to capture it from him and then take it away. Also, the outpost and the dark tower are the 2 buildings that actually give you a lot of vision when you capture them. You can see there's no units here, and that actually gives me a good amount of vision. Alright, and this is the second building that you can capture. It's called the dark tower. Basically, to capture it, you have to kill all these goblins, and these goblins act like normal archers. They can actually level up by doing their attacks or getting kills. Basically, how this tower works is it sends out a group of 4 to 8 archers towards any player on the map, and basically it's very annoying. Alright, and this is a small example of goblins. They are running towards you, but they can also climb on top of neutral outposts and then shoot you on top of them. Alright, and when you're going to be capturing it, it's going to be filling out this bar again, but this time the dark tower takes about 32 seconds to capture, so a little bit longer than an outpost usually takes. But it's very important to capture this because when you capture it, it spawns your own goblins that basically hang around here and fill up to maybe 10 to 20 goblin archers here. And when there's too many of them, they go out into the map and try to attack your enemies. And they are pretty good at basically scouting the map for you because you can't actually control them yourself. You can see here You can't control them like normal units. They're basically AI controlled, but each kill that each of these goblins get, they actually give you gold. So when it's nighttime, they can get out of skeletons and they give you gold. And also they can attack your enemy and kill their peasants or their units. That also gives you gold. And also when a player captures this tower, these goblins usually come out into parties with higher levels because the goblins have to actually fight the skeletons first. Also, I'm going to shortly explain the win condition. Basically, to win, the enemy has to destroy all of your buildings, but even if all of your buildings are destroyed, you're not going to be eliminated if you have one of these buildings captured, be it a dark tower or a outpost, and basically you can still survive if you still have one of these buildings captured. Alright, and this is when two players are trying to capture the same outpost, but it's contested because units are too close to it. And as you can see, orange can't capture it, and also teal was shooting arrows at him, so it's not about being attacked on top of the tower, it's about being close to the tower. As you can see here, orange ran away. This is around the border that you have to be close enough to the tower to stop an enemy from capturing it. Alright, now I'm going to explain why upgrading your town halls is very important and useful. Basically, in the beginning, you only have town hall 1, level 1 I guess, and it has no high ground. It can only make peasants and give you a bow's reserve upgrade. And you need to have this building if you want to make a sawmill, a barracks, or a smithy. And basically, you only need a barracks to be able to level this up to level 2, which turns into a fort. And then the fort unlocks the stables, which allows you to make Cavaliers out of your barracks. And also, you need a sawmill to be able to make archers out of your barracks. The only unit they can make out of a barracks without any other building is just a swordsman. And when you have both the stables and the smithy and a level 2 town hall, then you can upgrade it to a level 3 town hall right here. Now level 3 town hall has a bit more space on it. It also has a second platform that you can move units around from on top and bottom here. And this building unlocks upgrade for some peasants, and also unlocks a new building which gives a special ability to your Cavaliers or Munchers. Alright, now I'm going to talk about some upgrades that you can get, and the first upgrade you can get is the Bow's Reserve upgrade, which costs 200 gold and 100 wood, and when you research it, your peasants are able to fight with their bows when they're on top of a high ground building. Alright, and as you can see here, I put a peasant on top of here. He has no bow. And then the research is complete. He gains a bow when he's on top of a high ground building, but if he goes down, then he uses his axe to fight. So this is a good ability, or I mean upgrade, that is used to help you defend against early rushes or skeletons, and it can save you sometimes. Alright, now the next ability or upgrade you can get is charge ability, and we only need 400 gold to get it. And also, you don't need to upgrade your town hall, you just need to have a barracks completed. Alright, and this is when your swordsman attacks normally, when there is no charge ability. He just walks very slowly. Alright, and when you have researched your ability, when he attacks, he does a pseudo dash attack, and basically he has a little cooldown also, and when you charge, it doesn't actually do any damage, it just increases his movement speed, so you can catch up to enemies and beat them up. Alright, and the next ability you can get is the artillery ability, that is for the smithy, and you only need to have a town hall level 1 I guess, and a smithy building, and then you can research it. It costs 600 gold and 400 wood. Alright, and when you have researched your artillery ability, your cannons gain a ability where you can press R, and this ability allows you to shoot a mortar shot into whichever area you want to. You get this little aim ability.
Our town is under siege.
You can shoot it on top of buildings, and it damages both the archers and the building. And it does around 20 to 60 damage. And this is how far it shoots. Or let's see. There you go, this is like super far. And also you can shoot out of your vision. So if there's a building here, you can bombard it here. But when you're bombarding, your cannons are revealed a little bit to your enemy, so they know where the artillery shots came from. And also when you are trying to bombard an outpost, you can try to shoot it. But it doesn't destroy the outpost because the outpost can't be destroyed. But you are able to hit units that are on top of the outpost. There you go. But there's also, as you can see here, when you try to shoot the Dark Tower with a mortar ability, then it actually can't hit the units on top. Alright, and now the next ability that you can get is the Shields ability, which costs 400 gold and 200 wood. And to research it, you need to have a level 2 town hall and a smithy, and then you can start researching it. Alright, and when you have researched the Shields ability, all of your swordsmen are able to put their shield down by pressing D. And then if you don't want to use your shield anymore, you can press X. Alright, and when their shield is down, you can see that he's moving a little bit slower, maybe 50% slower. And also when archers or cannons are firing at a swordsman with their shield down, then he has about an 80% chance to block their attacks and block their cannon shots as well. But they can still be hit by the artillery ability 100% of the time. You see right here, they got hit. Alright, also when the units are attacking with their shield up, they do a little bit less damage. You can see here, if I hit him normally, level 1 swordsman, he does 6 damage. If I have his shield ability up, then he does 5 damage. And a level 2 warrior or swordsman, when he hits an enemy, he does 8 damage. But when he has his shield ability up, then he does 6 damage. And on a level 3 warrior or swordsman, when he attacks normally, he does 9 damage. But when he has his defend ability up or shield ability up, you can see he does 7 damage, so we do a little bit reduced damage. Alright, and when the swordsmen are scaling up enemy buildings, you can see I have the shield ability activated. But when he climbs up, he doesn't hold his shield up, so this is when they're very vulnerable, when they are trying to climb up a building. And if there's too many archers, then they can pretty much just snipe your swordsman. Like this. Because they can't really defend, so they can just get sniped and insta-killed. Alright, and I'm going to show the interaction between the cannons, the archers, and the warriors with the shield ability. So you can see here, the cannons are shooting them, but they're very good at blocking most of the damage. And the cool thing is that when the warriors go up, then the cannons are unable to shoot because they are focusing on shooting the warrior, but the warrior's too close to them and they can't really shoot. And then over here, anytime that a warrior is on top of a barracks, then the whole barracks is trying to shoot them here. And then all of your units on the bottom of these archers are not being shot at. So if you want to save some archers, so you can save your warriors on top of here with their shields. And that's going to allow your warriors to take all the shots and pretty much all your archers to stay safe. Alright, now I'm going to explain the arrow sharpening upgrade. And how to get this upgrade is you have to make a sawmill, which you can make from any town hall level. And then you need to upgrade your town hall to level 2. And to do that, you need to make a barracks. And when you research the arrow sharpening, it increases the damage of your archers. And so to see level 1 archers, they normally do 8 damage. And then level 2 archers, they do 10 damage per shot. And then level 3 archers do 12 damage. And now I'm going to show how much more damage they do. Alright, and after you research the arrow sharpening upgrade, all these archers do more damage. So level 1 archers do 3 more damage, and then level 2 archers do 4 more damage, and level 3 archers do 5 more damage. Now we're going to see. 1 archer did 11 damage, then level 2 archer, he did 14 damage, and then level 3 archer, he did 17 damage. Alright, and I'm going to show how much damage a level 2 swordsman and a level 2 cavalier take. Both of these units take the same damage, and how it breaks down is level 1 and level 2 archers, they do 3 less damage, and level 3 archer does 4 less damage. Alright, and a level 1 archer, instead of doing 11 damage, he does 8 damage. And the same to a swordsman. And a level 2 archer, instead of doing 14 damage, he does 11 damage. And the same to a swordsman. Right, and a level 3 archer, instead of doing 17 damage, he does 13 damage. And the same to a swordsman. Alright, now I'm going to show how much damage a level 2 archer takes. And how it breaks down is a level 1 archer does 2 less damage. And a level 2 and a level 3 archer, they do 3 less damage. So level 1 archer, instead of doing 11 damage, he does 9 damage. And a level 2 archer, instead of doing 14 damage, he does 11 damage. And a level 3 archer, instead of doing 17 damage, he does 14 damage. Alright, now I'm going to show how much damage a level 3 swordsman and a level 3 cavalier take. Both of these units take the same damage. And how it breaks down is that all these archers do 7 less damage. So level 1 archer, instead of doing 11 damage, he does 4. And the same to a swordsman. And a level 2 archer, instead of doing 14 damage, he does 7. And the same to a swordsman. And a level 3 archer, instead of doing 17 damage, he does 10 damage. And the same to a swordsman. Alright, now I'm going to show how much damage a level 3 archer takes. And how it breaks down is level 1 and level 2 archer, they do 5 less damage. And level 3 archer does 6 less damage. Alright, and a level 1 archer, instead of doing 11 damage, he does 6 damage. And then a level 2 archer, instead of doing 14 damage, he does 9 damage. And then a level 3 archer, instead of doing 17 damage, he does 11 damage. Alright, and as we have seen, the level 1, level 2, and level 3 archers, they do almost as much damage as their level 1 cavalier, level 2 cavalier, and level 3 cavalier counterparts, but they just do 1 bit less damage. So a level 1 cavalier does 12 damage, but a level 1 upgraded archer does 11 damage, and then a level 2 cavalier does 15 damage, and a level 2 archer does 14 damage, and a level 3 cavalier does 18 damage, but a level 3 archer does 17 damage. But overall, with the armor stats included, they pretty much do the same damage. Alright, I'm going to explain the next upgrade you can get, and it's called the Feudal Reform, or Disciplined Workers for the Orcs. And it costs 100 gold to research, and when you research it, it allows your peasants to be made 50% faster, and they also eat 50% less food. And the way to get it is you need to just upgrade your town hall to level 3, or the castle. And to do that, you need to first make a town hall 1, And then you need to make barracks. And then with the town hall of 1 and a barracks, you upgrade your town hall to level 2. And then to get to level 3, you need stables and a smithy. And then you can start upgrading to level 3. And then you can research it here. Alright, and after you upgraded your peasants, you can start training one. And then you're going to be able to see that they train super fast, because they train in about 7 seconds. And then you can also see their texture is a little bit different. So this way you can know that someone upgraded their peasants, because their peasant texture is going to change. And to see how much less food they eat, we can just kill a peasant. Look over here. You can see it went down by 5, which means now every peasant's eating 5 food. Alright, now I'm going to explain the cure ability, and the way to get this ability is you need your town hall to be tier 3. And tier 3 unlocks the church building, and after building it, you can research the cure ability, which costs 800 gold. Alright, and after you research the cure ability, all of your knights, they start with 100 mana, and they regenerate 1 mana every 1.5 seconds. And basically how the healing works is 1 mana heals about 1.43 health, and pretty much the maximum health you can heal from a 200 mana Cavalier is about 286 health. Alright, and to show how much health he heals, you got 11 health here. When I heal him, used all of the mana, and it's roughly less than 300 health that he got healed. And also, the cannons, they can't be healed, as you can see. And also, it's important to know that you can heal your enemy units, so you have to be careful to try to only heal your own units. But an easy way to make sure that you only heal your own units is you press cure ability. You can see all your units here in a control group. You can just click them here to make sure that you only heal your own units. But if you want to look at the screen to heal your own units, you can also do that as well. Alright, now we're going to simulate the interaction between someone who has the cure ability and someone who didn't research it. So we're going to have this fight between 2 level 1 Cavaliers. And both of them have 2 potions. And we're going to pretend that this unit has the cure ability, so he's being healed. But this unit is not, because he didn't research it. As we can see here, the unit without the cure ability is going to be losing decisively. And there's still a lot of mana left for your units to still heal more of your Cavalier's health. And pretty much the person with the cure ability is one that's going to be winning against someone who has no abilities, no cure and no rage ability. Alright, now I'm going to explain the rage ability. The way to get the rage ability is you need to upgrade your town hall to tier 3, and then it unlocks the altar building, and in the altar building you can research the ability for 800 gold. Alright, and after you've researched the rage ability, all of your Munchers start with 100 mana, and they regenerate 1 mana every 1.5 seconds. And how the rage ability works is all your melee units, which is all your Munchers and your warriors, they do 2.75 more damage per hit. And to see this, you can see a 1 Muncher. He punches this Muncher, he does 12 damage. But when he gets enraged, he punches for 33 damage, so almost 3 times the damage. Alright, and you can't enrage cannons, just like you can't heal them. And also the archers, when you enrage them, they don't do more damage. You can see it's enraged. He does 8 damage, and that's pretty much the same damage he does when he's not enraged. And when you enrage a Muncher, they don't do more damage to buildings. You can see he did 12 damage, and if I enrage him, he still did 12 damage. And as we remember, this raged archer did 8 damage. Now he's not enraged, and you still did 8 damage. So now you know that you don't need to waste your mana to enrage archers, because they're not going to do any more damage than they already do. And also you don't need to enrage your melee units, thinking that they're going to break your buildings down faster, but they don't break down buildings faster. So it's usually good to use them when you're fighting actual units. That way you don't waste mana. Alright, now I'm going to show an interaction between someone who researched for rage ability fighting someone who didn't research it. Alright, if I enrage this Muncher and fight this one, this is pretty much how the fight's going to go with someone who didn't research it. As we can see, he lost barely half his health and he already beat the same level Muncher. And this way you can know that enraging your Munchers is very effective at beating up someone who doesn't have a rage ability, and this way you'll be able to just destroy any army you engage with. Alright, and another interaction that both the Munchers and the Cavaliers have is that they attack while moving, and also they push around smaller units that are in their way, and those units get interrupted, which means that those units can't do their attack animation, and also they can't do their drinking potion animation, which means that you're just going to be destroying them. And to show this, I'm going to attack this computer. Alright, and as you can see here, you can see my Munchers are pushing everyone around, and they're also punching while moving. And the only units that they can't push around is a cannon right here, and then the Muncher or the wolf, which is a neutral enemy. Alright, this is the end of the video. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments. And also, if you want to see more videos, you can subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.